Good morning. Let's do this. Good morning. Like I said, hey, it's Chris the Batman Statue Collector. It's time to coffee up. I hope everybody has their, iced caffeinated beverage or whatever you drink this morning. And I don't get a chance to go live very often in the morning. And so I thought this would be fun. I got a little bit of time today before I have an appointment to go to. But anyway, thought it'd be fun to hang out with you guys, especially the audience that doesn't always get to participate in Rogues Gallery because of the time. I also want to plug really quick that we are going to be doing a live unboxing tomorrow night. I've got my very first J&D statue coming. I've got one coming Thursday, one coming Friday. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, welcome to the show. And again, if you have never joined us for these live streams, basically these are your shows. We talk about whatever you want to talk about. I've been down here in the last couple of days working in the cave, trying to make some changes. And obviously I have no idea what I'm doing because I keep changing my mind every 5 seconds and trying to figure out where the art's going to go on the wall, but been making some progress. So that's a really good thing. So anyway, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. And again, whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever questions you have for me, please put them over in the chat. I would love to chat with you guys and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I just saw the Fantastic Four trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but they just released it, and I think that looks really good, so we can talk about that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four, looking forward to Superman in a few weeks. So anyway, yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. Let's see who we got in the house. Passion for Art says, "Hi, Chris. Welcome to J&D Studios." Yeah, the comments have been really funny and really interesting because I've never owned a J&D statue. I see JWRs in the chat. People were already debating whether, how long I'm going to keep these things, maybe a few weeks or whatever. So we'll see how long it is. But I am really excited to get them in hand and see kind of what the collection is going to look like with them. Sometimes you get a statue in and you might love it. And after a while you realize, well, I love it, but it doesn't necessarily fit with what I'm going for. I'm currently selling the Harley Who Laughs. Some people have been surprised by that. I am surprised by it too. But with some of these purchases, what I do is I kind of weigh how I feel about a statue in terms of money. So I just bought 3 J&D statues. That's very expensive. I've got art coming that's very expensive. And so I look around my collection and be like, it's like, I love this piece, but I would rather have the art than that piece, or I'd rather have this than that piece. And so sometimes I get flack for that. But it's just the way I view my collection, is that I kind of panic sell sometimes. Sometimes I've regretted doing that, but that's kind of where I'm at right now with my collection. So I do have a couple things for sale, just because I have some things coming up. I've got a Lee Bermejo commission that I'm getting this summer. It's very expensive. So, just sometimes those things happen, but J&D has definitely made me want to sell a few things because I've got, thousands of dollars in J&D statues coming. And I can't take hit after hit after hit like that. So sometimes I've got to sell. Faith and Misery, good morning. Hope everyone is staying cool in this heat. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like 95 here. It's definitely warm in a lot of different places. It was really weird because I was just in Europe for 2 weeks, and it was like we were in hoodies and like zip ups, and it was like chilly over there. And then back to the United States where it's like hot and miserable. Stylish Nerd JWR, what's up, nerds? Got any good Finch coming in soon? I wish. Well, kind of. Jason, the last 2 events I've asked if he could get me on the list, and they were busy events, so he wasn't able to do anything for me. He's got a couple of other events this month. Or in the next couple months, I think one in July, San Diego Comic-Con, and one in maybe August, I think, that Finch is announced for. So I've announced, or I've asked for a Hush. I have a Hush right now, but he did one a couple weeks back that I love. And so I'm asking for a Joe Chill or a Hush. I did do Finch pieces through CGC. I did 4 pieces through them. I did a large Bane, which is one of his 11 by 17. And so I'm really excited to see what that one's going to look like. I did a Joker holding a Joker fish, like a gun. And then I did Talon, and I did Calendar Man. So that's basically going to round out my collection. There's a couple of pieces that I like, but I would love to see him do something a little bit different. Like I don't love my Catwoman that I have. I would like maybe something a little bit more modern of her. Even like Harley, I've thought about like getting a Jester Harley. So we'll see. There might be a few Finch pieces left, but I'm definitely on the downward spiral for sure of getting Finch pieces. Now that my mission to get your Finch pieces from you has failed miserably, but maybe another Joker down the line too. We'll see how it goes. But I've kind of been told by some people that maybe Finch is going to be winding down his conventions, so the odds of getting pieces might be a little bit less these days. So I'm going to be really happy with what I have because I'm incredibly lucky. Eric, Brotherhood member, thank you very much for being here. Hi, nice time to chat. Thank you very much. And again, I can't thank these guys enough. The members of the channel, thank you guys so very much for supporting the channel like you guys do. You guys are hardcore. You help this channel keep going. So thank you very much for your support, whether it's just, liking a video, watching a video, or, supporting the channel financially. I really appreciate it. So thank you. Danny Mitchell in the house. Good morning. Thank you for being here, Danny. And J&D statue collector. Yeah, I was going to say, I definitely heard some people, say that, I am still the Batman statue collector, but at the end of the day, it's really cool to add some J&D pieces to the collection. Good morning. Yeah, absolutely. We got my iced caffeinated beverage. So if you're drinking some caffeine this morning, drink up. It's in my Buc-ee's cup. A little shout out to Texas. Delicious. Yes, I am getting the J&D Bane. So if you watched my video the other day, I talked a little bit about becoming a J&D collector. The hell froze over. And basically with that, I saw it when I was in Europe. I saw the image of Bane, and I was like blown away. I was like, this is really cool. And do I want to spend $3,000 or $2,300 or whatever it is? Most of the retailers around here were closer to $3,000. And so it's one of those things where I saw it. I'm like, do I really need it? I'm not really doing the movie pieces. I moved them to the bottom shelf. I'm at peace with that. And so it really got me thinking. And then I got a phone call from Matt Martin, who you guys know from Rogues Gallery. And he said, are you getting it? Like, I ordered it day one. Are you getting it? And it really got me thinking about, like, I've got a little cash set aside for it. Let's just do it. And then I saw somebody selling online that they were selling the Dark Knight and Catwoman as well. And so I reached out to them and made a great deal. And so I'm getting Batman. I'm getting Dark Knight Batman. I'm getting the Dark Knight Catwoman and the Bane. And so I just filmed a video yesterday talking a little bit about, should I put the movie pieces in the middle or should I keep them in the back? I don't have a ton of movie pieces. And so that's a video that I think might be up for members right now. And again, thank you to our members. You guys get early access. So thank you very much again for your support. But I just felt like I had to have that Bane, and it really kind of lit a new fire under me a little bit, I guess you could say, in just appreciating the movie pieces as well. And so I think that there can be a good mix. I think there could be a good balance. I think I was trying to go away from the movie pieces a little bit because, again, like, buying this art is incredibly expensive. It's way more expensive than statues. And so, and you don't want to total it up. Like, I just totaled up my Finch wall like yesterday. It's like, oh, like, it's bad. And so I like I said, I panic a little bit about, I was like, do I have enough money to get this? I want to make sure I have enough money to get this piece. If I'm able to get a commission, what pieces can I sell from my collection? But if you look around the room, most of the things that are in this room I've had for 3 or 4 or 5 years. And you could tell which pieces that are never going to go, or at least hopefully won't go. But some will. Mr. Freeze will go whenever they come out with a new third scale. Again, I am selling my Harley Who Laughs, which Not everybody loves that idea, but I'm sure Paula, if she's watching this ever, she will not be happy. But I don't know. I have to do for my collection what I have to do, Is Nightmare Batman still available? No, that one has sold. The ones I have for sale right now are the Penguin. You can see the Penguin back here. I've got him. I've got Dark Knight Batman from Queen Studios for sale, and the Harley Who Laughs. And I've also got a number of art pieces. I'll just wasn't planning on showing you guys this, but might as well show it to you if you're interested. This is a Mark Silvestri Joker. Very hard to get anything from him. This is a beautiful piece. So again, I'm just trying to fund some other projects. Again, that Bermejo piece is going to be really expensive. I've got this one right here. Absolutely beautiful from that was from MegaCon. And then I also got this large Two-Face as well. So if anybody's interested, got a couple pieces right now that are up. Morning. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Again, coffee up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try some point in the next year to get a Finch White Rabbit done by him. So that is the one. His females are hit or miss for me because there's not a lot of that dark and light color. I've got 4 females: Catwoman, I've got Harley, Poison Ivy, and Punchline. Punchline is by far my favorite female that he's done, is because she's got the dark hair and it just brings a little bit more to it. White Rabbit, I've seen some of his that are done and I love it, but it's, there's just not a lot of shadow, and the ones I love are the shadow. That's why I think a lot of the monsters, because there's so many shadows and line work that he does. But White Rabbit he created, so she doesn't get a lot of love, but it would be cool to have her on the wall as well. But so hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll get one of her. Dario, good afternoon from Portugal, dear friend. You're an amazing person. Always be your fan. Well, thank you very much, Dario. That's so nice of you to say. I feel your love. Believe me. Just again, I can't thank you guys enough for your support. Thank you for being part of this channel, and thank you for being part of the community. You guys give me energy to keep doing this. So thank you very much. I feel the love, and believe me, I appreciate it. I'll have to see if CGC has Mateo or Murphy art. Also, never say never. You might come up with an offer that is badass and I can't refuse. Well, wait, now wait a minute. You gave me this story about sentimental value. Why don't you make me an offer? Make me an offer that I can't refuse to turn down. That's what you need to be doing. So if you guys don't know, JWR's got a Batman and Joker. The Batman was actually mine at one point, but again, I sold it to fund something else. Probably other art would be my guess. My thinking at the time was like, I've got a Batman. I don't need another Batman. But I love the way his Joker turned out. And so, I just love the idea of the two of them. But obviously, he has sentimental value to it. And so I made a heck of an offer. Billy said, you can't refuse that offer. But I definitely understand why he wouldn't want to sell it. But again, I love that you say never, because that gives me a little glimmer of hope. Hey, BSC, but also his burner YouTube account, Chris the J&D man. So are you saying I need another YouTube channel as the J&D man? Do you have any info on the Tweeterhead 1/4 scale statues? I have Catwoman Black and Batman Gray and Black on pre-order. So the only thing I don't know about when they're coming. The main thing is there was a number of releases that were supposed to happen this summer. It still could happen. But the problem is the 1/4 scale statues, and every statue from Tweeterhead from now on is going to go through Sideshow. Tweeterhead obviously had some well-known customer service issues, getting stuff out on time. The issue is Sideshow's handling customer service. They are handling distribution, which is a good thing in my eyes. I also think that takes some pressure off of Chad and company. But with that said, it is still the company's responsibility I believe, to get the item over to the United States or to Sideshow to be distributed. And the problem is the tariffs keep going up. So the companies are not able to get product in to the United States because the tariffs keep going up. Especially small companies like Tweeterhead, they can't afford to keep taking those hits and still stay in business. So if people still want a Tweeterhead statue and want Tweeterhead to succeed, they, basically have to be patient. And I know that sucks as a collector. I want stuff yesterday. I get it. But it's just one of those things, like they don't like this tariff situation either. So maybe with all the the war talk and everything else, maybe the administration will back off a little bit on the tariffs, and give us some relief a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen. You guys don't know what's going to happen, but I would assume hopefully they will get here as soon as possible. I'm also very excited about that Catwoman. I think she's fantastic. But basically, Sideshow has the quarter scale license. So anything that Tweeterhead does quarter scale, that's through Sideshow. Through Sideshow's license. Everything's through Sideshow distribution wise. Aspen, good afternoon, everyone, and a massive congratulations, Chris, on stepping into the Silicode and J&D world, and nice to catch a show live. Yeah, it's really great. Again, I love being able to do some of these shows at different times because obviously, like normally throughout the year, like, I'm an educator, so, I'm at work most of the time, but during the summers I have a little bit more time, when I'm not running around doing errands and taking kids to practices and things. But yeah, it's really exciting to get a J&D piece. I did have a couple in through Todd at Spec Fiction. I did order my Bane through Comic Concepts. And if anybody wants to ever order through them, use code BSC each time. I believe you get $10 off your order. And so, definitely want to help support them as well. And so J&D, I'm excited to add the collection. Again, I feel like it's one of those things where they look a lot better in person. And so it's hard to judge when you don't have them in person. So I'm really excited to see what I have to say, especially about the Catwoman. Because the Catwoman, I still feel like her face is a bit droopy on camera and a bit droopy in photos, but I'm anxious to see what I feel like in hand. The J&D Hathaway Catwoman is much better. See, there we go. The awful fisheye close-up photos portray. See, that's what I'm talking about. So I can't explain it, but like even whenever I had the Mira one in hand through Spec Fiction. And again, I want to thank Todd for letting me review those. That was fantastic of him. But they just don't photograph well. And I think that's the problem. And I feel like that's why the perception is the way it is. It's like, well, why are you going to spend $3,000 on something that doesn't look good? Well, it's hard to convey that because it doesn't look good on camera. It doesn't look good necessarily in photos. So it's just weird. Yeah, I love that. I do love that she comes with the cowl. So I'm excited to add that maybe to Bane's base. That's a great idea. Great idea. Collect XIX. Love the channel. Do you think you will keep the Batcave under the Bat Bike on the back wall? I think it looks awesome there. So again, I did a video that's up for members right now talking about that very topic. And, I'm trying out. You can see a little preview of that video if you're not already a member, but you could see that there's already a few statues back there. And what I asked in the video, I also sent a video to my friends over in the Rogues Gallery group that I have. That is it okay to have the movie pieces along the bottom with still comic book up top? And I'll let you guys weigh in too. The live chat here. You can kind of see what that would look like. Batman and Catwoman, 89 here. Maybe all of the Dark Knight pieces here. Maybe some of the other ones like Robert Pattinson. Maybe this Heath Ledger Joker. But it would all be movie pieces over here. And then I would take Tactical Throne and move him back to the middle. Some people have suggested, like putting him on a podium and then putting two chairs, like two black chairs with a coffee table or something there. Or maybe a black couch, and getting rid of all of the podiums in the middle. Because a lot of you say that it looks cheap. I would dress these up. Yes, it does look cheap, but I would dress it up to something like this. Each of the podiums would have like an actual finished look. I haven't done the expense of it because I just don't know if that's what I want to do. But obviously, when I have the podiums, you guys all worry about me knocking stuff over. I get it. I'm not worried about that. I'm in here every day. I don't knock stuff over. I'm careful. But I do like the idea of the podiums because I feel like it brings the art forward for my videos. Otherwise, everything's way back there in blurriness, you know? And so do you guys like the idea of the movie statues kind of being in the middle and leaving the tactical throne in the middle? Or do you like the idea of putting all the movie pieces on the back and then putting more comic book pieces on the sides? And like I did that down here. You guys can see I put some of the Batman statues down there. They probably won't focus because it's going to focus on the mic. But anyway, you get the idea. And then putting Tactical Throne in the middle. Maybe Batman versus Killer Croc in the middle somehow. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts. As wrestling fans, we have been taught to say never say never. That's right. And again, I get why you don't want to sell those. I don't know. I think about that Joker all the time. I think about how cool it is. And so, yeah, you know, if it never happens, that's fine. But if it happens, that'll be great. That'd be really great. Jonathan, hey, Chris, it's me from Sweden. Hello, Jonathan. Back from my motherland. It's great to see you. I hope everything's going well over there. CNSS84. Hey, Chris. Hey, everyone. Love the morning stream. Yeah, thank you very much again for everybody being here. Really, again, appreciate it very much. You know, seeing some other faces in here, which is really nice. Giving some other collectors the opportunity. You know, being overseas and being so far ahead of the United States. You know, I get it. It's nice to have a stream that's not in the middle of the night, you know, which is when we normally do it. So good morning, Chris. How tall is your ceiling? I asked because maybe if you had a higher ceiling, it would mean you have more space and freedom to put your statues whenever you want. So I think it's a 7-foot ceiling, I think, if I remember right. I'm trying to think if I have my. See if I can do this live here. Could be approximate, of course. It said 7 feet. I think it's about 7 feet. Yeah, I think it's about 7 feet tall. So whenever we put the ceiling in, this was just a bunker, basically, a storage garage. And the thing is with this is like we lost a little bit of inches to put the lights in, to put the ceiling in. Excuse me. Coffee's making me get all clogged up. If I had to do it over again, what I would have done is I wouldn't have made this as thick. I would have made this shorter. That way it would have lowered the third scales down and I could have put more art behind it. But yeah, I mean, I do wish I had a higher ceiling. That would have been great. But again, this is a basement. And so the ceilings were already low anyway. Is this going to be a new live reoccurring show? Joey, probably not necessarily reoccurring, but maybe sometimes during the summer. Again, I'm an educator, so, you know, I have to be at work most of the year, but I do have my summer, I have about 2 months off in the summertime. And so I want to go live in the mornings every once in a while. It won't be a reoccurring, but definitely want to be able to bring in other collectors that would love to be part of the show as well. So glad to be here in the morning. Me walking into work today. Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to be here. I hear that, CC. Absolutely. I understand that every day. Once I get there, I'm fine. But man, walking into work, you're like, ugh, don't want to be here. Yeah, I hear you for sure. And Cece is responsible for me spending money last week as I bought that great Danny Earls art, and I have no idea where that will go. It'll be like all of my other art and just sit on the walls somewhere. But Danny Earls, love him. Had a chance to hang out with him. Eric and I during MegaCon came up to our room that we were staying for an hour and just talked about geeky stuff and drawing and all of that good stuff. It's really hot here in Europe. Congrats on the J&D piece. The Batman 2022 1/3 J&D is my holy grail. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great piece as well. I'm really happy with my Prime 1 that I have. So that's good. Dragon Lee, good morning, Chris. How's the coffee? You should try Colombian coffee. Our coffee is the best. I have had Colombian coffee. This is McDonald's coffee. So it's funny because I get a latte, which is just milk and espresso. And that's my favorite. I used to get iced coffee and different things. I don't like sugar in my coffee. Like I don't ever get like vanilla or I don't do flavors, which is why they screw it up all the time. It's like I have to go back in the store and say, hey, I asked for a plain one. This is, espresso and milk and ice. But I have a dairy sensitivity. So that's going to make me, do that. So it's probably not the best to do this live because I'm going to be clearing my throat every 5 seconds. So I do apologize. But the coffee is delicious this morning. So Chris, what do you think will be the next piece you should have coming in? I know for me, it'll be Harley Who Laughs. Still waiting for my retailer for it. So I have a custom Harley coming, and that's supposed to ship soon. So that one might be close to shipping. The only Sideshow I have on order right now, the only piece I have through Sideshow is the Riddler. I'm just going to look up my Google Drive real quick and see what my pre-orders are because I don't remember. Yeah, I only have a couple of pre-orders. I've got the Riddler premium format. What else do I have? So I've got the Batman with Bruce Wayne down below. I've got one of those. And I've been in contact with that company actually, Supercraft, and they have something coming that's exciting. So I'm going to be able to be a part of that, which I'm really excited about. So stay tuned next month to the channel for that announcement. But I don't have a ton on pre-order. Obviously, Man Bat will be something I really want. But probably that custom Harley will be next. Obviously, J&D, Batman, and Catwoman are coming this week. Bane will be sometime next year. Hey, do you think the J&D bank robber Joker statue will come with his purple coat? So what I believe that they will do is I think that they'll do a dual set like they've done. I think that they'll do a new purple suit and then the bank robber. Would I be interested in that? Yes. If it's good, I would be. Sounds great. I work from home and I'm always looking for Livestream to keep me entertained while I'm working. Well, that's great, man. You're living the dream working from home. That's awesome. I would love to work from home. And in a lot of ways I do because this is my second job pretty much. But it is my favorite job for sure. You have 7-foot ceilings, you'll be fine. Yeah. I was going to say I'm 6'2", so there's not a lot of clearance. But it's one of those things where I just wish that I had gone a little bit lower on these stands, and we built it up to reinforce it because I knew there was going to be a ton of weight on these. But if I had just gone to here, that would have gave me a little bit more wall space because I hate putting the art behind the statues because it blocks so much of the art. And so I'm trying to do art up top that's smaller. Over here you could see I've got a couple pieces up there that I'm kind of just toying around with just to kind of see if it'll work. But we'll see. We'll see how I end up. All right. How much do you think the Prime 1 Lord Voldemort piece will be? I'm afraid it'll be close to over 2,000. It's quarter scale, so I'm gonna guess it'll be more like 1200, maybe 1300. The way Prime 1 goes. Sorry, I don't know if I just like washed myself out there. Live stream cameras, I tell you. Do you know your son sort of an homage to Heath Ledger? So yeah, my son Ledger was named after Heath Ledger. He was born around that time, and I love Heath Ledger. I love Heath Ledger's Joker. And so we were talking about that name a lot, and when we were trying to come up with names, the only caveat was it couldn't be in the top 10 or whatever, top 1,000 names or whatever. And it's, we were just trying to come up with names that not everybody had. And we kept saying Ledger a lot. And we're like, yeah, let's do Ledger. My other son's name is Locke. Again, double L's. Do you also read a lot of comics? I know you like Hush, but also other storylines. Yes, I do. The Long Halloween is my favorite Batman story. Love Hush. I love the Three Jokers. Like there's a lot of really great stories over the years. Obviously my first love basically was The Killing Joke. But obviously like a Court of Owls storyline I love. So yeah, definitely love Batman and the stories. Some of the newer stories, I don't have a comic book shop near me, so I haven't read like all of Absolute Batman. I haven't read some of the newer storylines, so I usually wait till they come out in hardcover and then read them then. Holly Z in the house. Good morning, brother Chris. Thank you very much for being here, Holly. Great to have you. Hope you're having a great Wednesday morning. The one J&D piece I have been thinking of picking up was that Dancer Harley from Suicide Squad, J&D's Platinum most recent line statue. I just worry there doesn't seem to be a lot of hype for it. I saw a video recently, and I can't remember where I saw it, but I can't remember, but she looked great. She looks a lot better in that video than she did in the promo photos, I think. So I think that would be a really great one to add to the collection. Obviously, it's a very specific, image of her, but I think it's great. What variation of Harley is your custom going to be? It is the more of like that modern skater Harley. It's really good. Yeah, total pre-orders for me are just all Prime 1, Harley Who Laughs, Flashpoint, Batman, City of Bane, and I did the Morgan. I love that one. That one's fantastic too. I'm debating about the Flashpoint Batman. I haven't ordered it yet. Still considering. I really like it a lot. It's a maybe. You have a great second job, Chris. Thanks for all the awesome content. Yeah, well, thank you very much. I was going to say, like, I don't want to call it a job, but it kind of is, because it's like, doing daily videos and editing and doing voiceovers and not create the thumbnail, like all of that stuff takes a lot of time. And so it is definitely a job, but it is a job that I absolutely love. And I'm so glad to do it. I think that Voldemort will be my first Harry Potter piece. I love it. Again, I really like the Iron Studios one. I think this one will probably be better paint, just because it's Prime 1, and I just don't know where I'd have room for it, but I would love to add it. But and we just did the Harry Potter studio tour in London, which was really great. Just awesome. Are you going to buy any non-Batman related statues? Art, there's some pretty cool Texas Chainsaw statues out there. Yeah, I don't do horror statues. If I was going to do anything, like again, it's probably like that Voldemort that I'm talking about, or possibly I've always talked about like getting Iron Man statues. I think that would be a lot of fun as well. But I try not to cross the streams, as the Ghostbusters say. I find it really weird there isn't statues for Spider-Man 2002 trilogy. It would sell just like the Dark Knight trilogy. It's a good point. Like, I know that they've done some Hot Toy stuff, but yeah, it is interesting about statues. I don't know why that is. Interesting. Holly Z asked, Chris, did you pick up anything on your vacation? And I hope you and your family had so much fun. So yeah, we did. Some of my favorite moments were unplanned. The Chicago stuff that we did, we were there in Chicago for a couple days before we flew to Paris, and doing the Dark Knight filming locations was a dream come true for me. Again, I was just hoping to be able to find one going on LaSalle Street, and that turned into like 5 or 6 or 7 different filming locations. So that was like a highlight of this trip that was unplanned. But had a great time in Paris. We did Disneyland Paris. I've got a video up, I believe, for members right now of our Disneyland trip. So that was a lot of fun, and definitely a bucket list item for me, because I'm just a massive Disney Parks fan. And then we did a couple days in London, did the studio tour of Harry Potter, which was really fantastic. Just a really fun time over there. But I did pick up a couple of things. I picked up like a magnet. I picked up a big Eiffel Tower, very touristy. But my favorite thing that I picked up was I picked up a hardcover version of Batman Hush, and it is in French. And I thought, what better souvenir than getting one of my favorite stories in comic book form, but in French. And the coolest thing about it was in French, it translates to, on the cover, it says Batman Silent. So that it's not Batman Hush, it's Batman Silent. So I thought that was really cool. And that's like, again, just going to mean a lot to me whenever I see that book, knowing that reminds me of the Paris adventure. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for the question, Holly. Conquer Knight, what do you think of the Indiana Jones J&D statue? So I think the Henry Sr., the Sean Connery looks fantastic. I think it's one of their best to date. Indiana Jones, depending on the photo, like I've seen some photos out there that I feel like look pretty darn good. I don't know if it's Harrison Ford that doesn't photograph well. Like even like Jeff Delaney over at Secret Sanctuary just got that Iron Studios piece. His photos look really good. And it's all because of the lighting, I think, that they did, that he did on that. So I've seen some photos that don't look like him to me. I've seen some photos that look pretty darn good. Is it perfect? No. But at the same time, I feel like Harrison Ford is incredibly difficult to capture. If you look at his face, like I've seen a lot of photos of him, his face seems like on one side of his face, he always seems to kind of smile. And on the other side, it kind of frowns. And so I don't know if that's why it's difficult to capture him, but I don't know. It's just been really interesting with his sculpts, but I do think it looks pretty darn good overall, especially the Sean Connery. Your Vision. Hey, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for being here. I've heard a lot of people say that Prime 1 takes about 3 years from the time a product is announced to when it's released, yet I thought their turnaround time has improved. Am I missing something? Depends on the piece. 3 years is, you don't see that very often anymore. There has been a couple pieces like their Harley Quinn. This one I think took 3 years to produce. It just kind of depends on things. But I will say that usually it's 1 year to 2 years. Some things have really turned around quickly, like the Punchline and Joker. That was like 1 year. It was very quick. And so some come out quicker than others and some take a long time. So I think it maybe just depends on the factory. It depends on a number of factors that we're not always privy to. I'm not sure what you're clapping for, but thank you very much. Do you like the band ABBA? No, I'm not a fan of ABBA. I am like a hair metal guy. I like, my favorite band is AC/DC. My favorite song by them is If You Want Blood, You Got It. I listen to it just about every day. And so I love bands like that. I love my top bands are like Queen, Kiss. Those are probably my top 3. I love, Van Halen and Poison and those type of bands, Guns N' Roses. So I'm definitely a rocker guy, which again, rock and roll. And so ABBA just never sat with me. Could you tell us what characters are your new David Finch pieces, or are they a surprise? No, I was actually talking a little bit about that earlier. So basically I've already done through CGC. I've got a Calendar Man coming. I've got a Talon coming. I've got a full-size Bane, and I've got a Joker pointing a Jokerfish, and then I'm trying to get a Joe Chill, and that'll kind of round out the collection, possibly a new Hush. possibly a new Catwoman, possibly a new Harley Jester. I'm not sure, but I'm going to kind of start with those couple that I mentioned at the beginning and kind of work my way down if I'm able to. Absolutely. Matt T in the house. Hey, everyone. Hey, Chris. Thank you for being here, Matt. Hope you're all doing great. Sound like you were pretty excited about some of those video game pieces they revealed. What are the prices? With the prices stepping up so fast, do you have a limit price what you want to pay for a statue? Not necessarily. If the art means a lot to me and I absolutely love something, I'm going to sacrifice something else to get it. And so I always look at my bank account. I look at what I have in there right now. Again, sometimes I panic sell, which is what I'm doing right now, because again, I've got a very expensive Libremejo piece this summer coming. I just spent a lot of money on the J&D pieces. So I'm selling right now to offset some of that. That I like to have a little bit of a cushion. But when it comes to a statue, like let's say it is the statue I can't wait to have, it's awesome, and it's $4,000, which is an insane amount of money. I'm going to start looking around my collection and be like, what could I sell to offset some of that? That's my first go-to usually. Now there for a while, I had a lot more money in the account before I started buying all the Finch art. So I had a buffer. Like if I wanted it, I would just get it. But you know, it's one of those things where I do weigh it out. Sometimes like if it's like, let's say it's a life-size Batman and it's $12,000, like chances are I'm not going to spend that money. I would rather like buy multiple pieces for that amount of money, you know, and get more bang for my buck, so to speak. Hopefully that makes sense. Clapping was for the Finch hush. Yeah, thank you very much, CC. It was just such a cool thing, you know, to do. Yeah, ABBA sucks. Do you play any video games? I play like little games on my phone, mostly like number puzzle type of things. Keep my mind going. But in terms of like actual video games, like I've got a PS5 that I got for Christmas like 2 or 3 years ago, and I haven't plugged it in yet. If that tells you anything. But the games that I would play were usually the Arkham games. And I like Mario, like Mario Kart. I like those type of games. Hey, things are okay. Redoing my room due to a home issue had with flooding. Ugh, no statues were thankfully harmed. Absolutely excited for the Witcher 3 Triss. Been waiting. That's the one I saw you comment on. Yeah, that's a beautiful piece. So with that dress, absolutely beautiful. Brad Anderson says, is Prime 1 still working on that Riddler? Wish we could see more. As far as I know, yes. We saw some kind of initial renders, kind of like sketches, which I wasn't really all that thrilled with. Contacted their art director, Johnny, and he said, you know, it will be more of a realistic take. So it will fit in with the rest of the statues that they do. We saw some head sculpts rendered out, which I think looked fantastic. But I don't know. I think they're absolutely still working on him. I was actually kind of surprised we didn't see him at the Next Level showcase. But yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully we'll see him soon. I'm a fan of a lot of rock metal stuff, but I also like ABBA. LOL, it's not an impossible combination. No, I mean, that's the thing is like, just because I like the rock music, you know, I mean, I used to go to concerts all the time. Like I went to like a Janet Jackson concert. I went to a Jewel concert. I saw in the year 2000, I saw Britney Spears in concert. So like, I love music, period. But rock music's my favorite. But I've just never caught on to ABBA for whatever reason. And I've had zero comment, guys, on the movie pieces in the middle versus the back, tactical throne in the middle. What do you guys think? Do you like it there? Should tactical throne be in the middle and just do Batman with a couple of chairs? Weigh in. I need your help on that. I can't believe no one's commented. Come on, wake up, get your coffee. If I'm awake, you got to wake up. No, I'm just giving you guys a hard time. The Alt Triss and the DMC-16 were my favorites from the show. Yeah, those statues and figures have been really great. Nice to see you live. Well, it's great to be live with you guys. Got a little bit of time left before I need to leave. But again, thank you for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. If you guys would hit the like button too, that helps me out. helps other people find the content. So thank you very much. Lets people know that we're live as well. I like the movie pieces in the middle. Looks awesome. Okay. So I think what I might do is I've kind of like last night I was thinking like maybe I'll just have them in the middle for a while and just, see how that goes. And then as I get pieces in, maybe I'll move stuff around. But at the same time, I'm like, I really like tactical throw in the middle as well. It's just hard. It's hard to, and it's not easy to move all this stuff around. And with tactical thrown, I would need to build a display. I went to the, hardware stores. We have Menards here. We have a Lowe's. And I just can't really find out what I would need to like build something. Like I built, some stands, but I'm not like that crafty, that handy in terms of building something that would accommodate something that big. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Forsaken Lineage. Well, it's 6 p.m. here. There you go. So it's not morning. You're winding down. Have you ever gave input design-wise on a certain statue to a company? Oh, yes. Especially like companies like Tweeterhead have a really great, relationship with Tweeterhead, whether it's, I consider it a friendship. I consider it just being able to give my input on things. I've had other companies like hit me up and say, what do you think of this? What do you think of this design? And I love giving input. And what I try to do is not just give my input, but I try to give input from other things that I've heard from collectors. So I always try to have like an ear to the ground. And, if a collector says, I really want this character. So I try to relay that to the companies as best as I can. Some companies, are kind of hit or miss with that. Some have been really good. But yeah, I know that I have influenced certain design elements that ended up on a statue that has been produced. And that means a lot to me because, again, I try to convey what the community is wanting. And for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes it's selfish reasons, like what I want personally, or what I think people would like. Also, sometimes I think that if they make this tweak, if they make this change, they will sell more of it and will make them more successful, thus producing more statues that I'm hoping to get, if that makes sense. Because there has been a lot of misses. And sometimes like there's decisions that I don't like or agree with or understand. And so again, that at the end of the day, that's their decision. It's they're a business. But sometimes characters that they bring out, or sometimes like I don't always get it, but I've definitely had some input for sure with different companies. I think you should build 2 displays for the middle so we can see the size and height of the display. Yeah, being able to do different heights has been suggested before as well. I just don't know how I'd accomplish it. Martin, good morning, everyone. Alice in Chains, Korn, and Nirvana are my top 3. I have seen Korn live a number of times. I used to go to like Ozfest and stuff like that. I love Ozzy. And so I'd never seen Alice in Chains, and obviously I had never had a chance to see Nirvana, but I did get a chance to see their drummer a number of times with Foo Fighters. Years ago was elected first Triss statue on waitlist, and then I got an email from Prime One saying they dropped it and was canceling my order. So since then, been waiting for the alt version to happen. Well, I'm glad that it's happening. I'm glad you're excited about it. Tactical throne placement is nice, but if you get the new Superman by Prime One, placement might change. Yeah, I won't be getting any Supermans. I did Hush for a minute and sold him pretty fast. So yeah, no Supermans are coming to the collection. The only piece I saw from the Prime One showcase I really liked was the Superman on throne. Superman I find is okay, but the crystal throne in the back piece that really caught my attention. Yeah, the thing I keep hearing from collectors is that a lot of the portraits shown, whether it's Hush, Catwoman, whether it's Superman, the portraits were kind of lackluster, and so it is what it is. But I agree. I think the throne looks great, and I think the back piece could be a display of its own. I think it looks great. As of right now, it's too tall. Are you talking about the podiums? I really appreciate the live, so us Europeans don't have to watch in the middle of the night. So yeah, exactly. Like again, like that's why I like to do like sometimes like Sunday afternoon streams, or try to do these morning streams. But again, it's not something I can do on a normal basis. I wish I could, because I would love to talk with you guys as well. But anyway, I'm just really glad that we can connect this way. I also agree with movie pieces in the middle, because comic pieces will always outnumber the movie ones. And that's a great point. And like I said, I'm never going to have very many movie pieces. That's why I thought, if I just put the movie pieces on the back row, if you can envision just all of the movie pieces back here, that would then let me have, more things in the middle, like Tactical Throne, which is a big piece. And I think it would be a great centerpiece. So I don't know. It's just hard, but I do appreciate the advice, CC. I was just jamming some Alice in Chains yesterday. There you go. Do you worry about statues in the middle will block viewing others behind? They're also cool. Must be hard to decide. That is true. Like that's why I like these thin podiums, is because they don't block as much. If I do have stuff in the middle, plus I can, depending on my angle, I can always just move around the room. But I also try to think about how it'll look here on YouTube, like how will it look on the screen? Because I know you guys want to see stuff behind me. And so, I hear that from collectors all the time. It's like, just shut up, move out of the way so I can see the statues, And so I do always try to think about that, optimal viewing angles and things like that. But they do block some things, but not a ton. Tired of waiting for the pre-orders of the Queen Studios Joker and the Blitzway Alex Ross Batman. So I just ordered at Sideshow the blue-gray Tweeterhead 1/6 Batman maquette. Looking forward to it. That's a great piece. Had a chance to have the different variants in the cave, thanks to Chad, who sent it to me, and then I sent it off to be photographed for their pre-sale. And so I think that they're fantastic. I don't think you can go wrong at all. Actually, I know you thought about adding furniture to make the room more of a hangout space. Some shelving around the back of a couch would be cool for the movie pieces. And again, that's kind of something I've thought. Like a lot of people suggested, like, putting a couch down here and getting rid of the podiums. Like, Dan, if you've seen Dan's video from Wayne Manor Rocket City, he's got a couch, but like, I don't have a TV. So, to put a couple of chairs in here or put a couch, it would just be me on the couch. No one else is going to be hanging out with me. And so if I put a couch right there facing the camera, it would be, just me looking at my Finch wall, which is great. Kind of like where that chair is back there. But like usually I just hang out on this chair. This is usually where if I come down here, I'm sitting in this chair, spinning around. I could rotate, and look at everything I want to look at via this chair. But I do think having a chair or a couch, kind of flanked by some statues would look cool too. So I just don't know. I like to be able to have the flex space, and I feel like maybe by putting furniture, it might limit that, if that makes sense. Again, I'm so indecisive. What I need is just somebody to come to my house and just do it for me. And it's like, this is the way it's going to be. Okay. Like if I can get CC and Dan to come help me with my art problem, and then maybe they can help me, work on the rest of it. We'll see. I know you never watched Ghost in the Shell, but based on your experience, how much do you think a piece will cost, and how much will the one without the larger base cost? Oh man, I don't know. And I'm not sure which Ghost in the Shell one you're talking about, but all the Prime 1 stuff's pretty expensive right now. So I just don't know what the cost will be. So I do apologize. We got Jonathan, the everyday collector, in the house. Does anybody work? LOL. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I was going to say, like, again, I'm an educator, so I've got a couple months off, which is great. But yeah, I definitely love doing these live streams at different times, because again, I've been able to connect with a lot of collectors that don't normally get to log in. But yeah, I'm glad to be not working today. Great to see you, man. I love the new bunker setup. What new reveal do you think we'll see at Sideshow Con, premium format related? I'm still hoping for a new Supergirl. Did you want to say hello? All right, we got a guest here.
Hello, everyone.
The other L name, back from basketball practice. How did it go?
Short, sweet.
Short and sweet. Are you sweaty? Are you stinky? Yes. They're gonna got a game. So we got a game this afternoon, but 2 games. You're kidding. Life of a busy teenager right there. That's it.
Had 2 days off.
2 days off. Well, it's great to see you. I'll see you in a minute. All right. Yep, we're about done. So anyway, that was Locke. Have fun, sir. All right. So I think that we'll probably see Man Bat, but I have no idea what else we'll see from Sideshow Con. I think we'll see a lot of pieces we've already seen, unfortunately, but I would love to see that Man Bat painted up. I think there's a good chance. I'm hoping. So again, everybody, coffee up if you got it. Everybody saying hello to John. Would you be getting any more Alex Ross pieces? Not probably art, because I have preferred. I don't know where my I got 2 Alex Ross canvases that, like, one of them I'm trying to sell, and one of them I don't know where to put it, because all my room has gone to original art, and it sucks because I love Alex Ross and I would love that. That's my biggest mistake, is not making more wall space in this collection. I wish I had a lot more wall space. That would have been awesome, but I didn't. I wasn't collecting art then. Hey, my friend, we got Tony Soprano too. Hey, my friend, did you hear about the new direction DC is going? James Gunn have a hard time with Batman. Why do you think he's having such a hard time with the best DC character? Your opinion? To me, it's not difficult to get Batman right, but for some reason, Hollywood likes to get him wrong constantly. There are things that they do right, like Ben Affleck, that first film, Batman versus Superman. The look of him was fantastic, and then they had to go and change this costume. I just don't have a lot of confidence in Hollywood. I feel like they have other agendas a lot of times, and they change it up so much from the source material, which drives me crazy. This is why, like, I like The Dark Knight, because they did take a lot of those stories from, like, The Long Halloween. But James Gunn did recently say he doesn't want a campy, funny Batman. He wants a serious, brooding Batman, which is what they have with the Robert Pattinson. So you can't cross the streams, though, again, because that universe doesn't fit in the James Gunn universe. So I'm really glad that he wants to take Batman more seriously. That makes me happy. Kind of concerned about the thin podiums. Are you concerned about knocking some of them over, walking around, or the gaps just right? So yeah, I've got a lot of room. I mean, I don't know if you guys understand how big this room is. I'm going to go back here. I'm walking between the podiums. Plenty of room. So this room is big, and so I've got a lot of space between them, so I don't really worry about knocking them over too much. I'm trying to consider between my current pre-order dilemma a little. I am trying to figure out how much might Wolf Predator cost for shipping of 4 boxes. Oh my God. You're looking at a lot of money for 4 boxes. Crazy. Instead of Superman on throne, Prime 1 should have made the one of him sitting in the chair while he's cracking his life and illness from Superman All-Star. So I like the throne because it's based on Del Otto's work, but I just don't know how many people are going to want to throne Superman. Wish I got into career as an educator, had a couple of opportunities, but now I sort of teach at work. Too late for me, I guess. Hey, it's never too late, man. Never too late to go back to school. To live out your dreams. I have been teaching. This is my 20th year, and it's a long time. I knew a high school teacher that would get a job at a local supermarket during the summer to supplement the income during summer vacation. I always felt bad for her. Teachers don't make a lot, and they should be paid a lot more, especially lately. There's so much mental health. You know, whenever I started, there would be a kid with severe behavior problems, and there would be like, maybe 3 of those in a building. These days there are 3 to 5 of those per classroom, and so it's very difficult. What educators are being asked to do with very little consequences, and the kids know that there are very little consequences. So it's very difficult to be an educator with what they're getting paid. I wish they got paid more. But yeah, I mean, you see people all the time having to supplement their income. I'm wondering what is up with the Justice League, Alex Ross, Wonder Woman, and Batman. So I am worried as well, because it feels like maybe that Blitzway Prime 1 relationship has been severed. I don't know if that is true or not. It just feels that way. And that was in conjunction with Blitzway. So I'm hoping, obviously Superman's on pre-order. I want that Batman. That Batman's fantastic. Will he get made though? I don't know. I'm going to try to reach out to their creative director and see if I can get a little bit more clarity on that, because I know a lot of people are concerned about that. Have you considered updating the display and adding a 10 to 15 inch foot, 10 to 15 inch riser maybe, so you can put bigger 1/3 or 1/4 down low and still look good? I'm definitely playing around with that constantly. That's something I'm definitely, interested in doing. Would you consider losing one side of shelving for more art? Be cool to see Alex Ross up in original art. It's possible. I mean, I haven't gone there yet, but it's possible. Would you consider doing a second lower tier shelf on the side so you don't have to deal with the bottom shelf, similar look, which you had in the former collection room? I have considered that, putting another shelf in front, but at the end of the day, like, we spent so much money putting this all together, it would just kind of kill me a little bit. Hey, Chris, hope you're well. I still hoping my Batman Bane on Throne converts. Have you heard anything on yours? Mine has not converted yet either, but I just don't know if I want it at this point. Like, where would I put it? I don't know. But fingers crossed yours will convert. I will try to reach out and see if I can find something. Has it been that long already? Really? Yikes. Yeah, again, fingers crossed on that. I hope not either. I hope not either. All right, with that said, guys, I got to take off because I've got an appointment to go to. And so I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. It's really awesome to do this live stream with you guys. Hopefully I can do a few more this summer and hang out with, again, collectors that I don't normally get to hang out with. I can't thank you guys enough for taking time out of your morning, or if you're watching the replay of this, thank you for hanging out regardless of the time or the date. Really appreciate your support. Thanks to all of our members again. You guys are amazing. Love you guys. And I'll see you soon in the Batcave. Hit the like button on your way out if you would. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.